the hilt, gorgeous inside and out.
Thank you.
Talk to us about your fashion, maybe your inspiration or influences.
Absolutely. Ever since I was a little girl, my mom was a fashion designer in
Wow.
Bulgaria under communism. And I would say since I was 5, I was on runway stages modeling different little outfits. Yes.
I love that.
So I grew up with a mom who was very much into fashion, who we had students and people over all the time at our house.
Wow.
Everything around our house involved around clothing and magazines and various materials and whatever was the newest trends. In communism, you only had a small amount of information.
Sure.
But I gotta say, for a deprived fashion industry in those days, my mom had a great imagination and great creativity because people would come and draw from her creativity. That's why she was also developing people's abilities to create through their imagination all these outfits. She could create anything just by envisioning it.
Wow,
and so
that's a gift.
Growing up, I was always dressed up, like I was going to a fashion show. So when people look at me today, they think that I somehow assimilated this when I moved to California. I'm like, no, this has been in my blood. I was born
That's right.
like this.
That's right.
I was born with high heels.
Yeah. Oh, we love high heels.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, in Bulgaria, I gotta say, my mom, even when you walk, because you had to walk everywhere, she was always in high heels, walking up and down those stairs and streets and pavements that weren't even paved nicely, but everybody looked good. They wanted to have that image because I think in those days we didn't have anything else but to look at the image.
Right.
An image is not everything, but in a nation where you're deprived from so much and your identity is stolen, your image becomes your identity. But for me, my identity growing up was also developing who I am as a person because I had great parents. They were very nurturing and very loving to me.
Yep.
And then coming here, being on my own, if I didn't grow up the way I did, I probably wouldn't have survived with the perseverance and all the circumstances that I faced.
Sure.
But for me, my mom definitely was my inspiration and the person that taught me how to do things well and how to look well despite of whatever is going on.
Yes.
So that you inspire other people and you welcome them in your life and you bring them to another level by the way you conduct yourself.
It's true.
So one of the people that I absolutely love and admire is Celine Dion. And she is a person that not just as an artist, but also does the outfits that she has, the way she carries herself.
I could see some of Celine right here.
Yeah,
she'd be proud.
Yeah, so I have wanted to remain individual amidst everything else.
That's important.
I think that's for everybody that's watching. Be you, be unique, and create something unique inside of you that you can offer to the rest of the world.
And you did make a comment or a statement earlier when we were talking off camera about how you just felt it was important to not blend in.
Absolutely.
With everybody, you know, and it's true. You need to say something about who you are. You want to share a little bit more?
Well, so under communism, because of the fear that we lived in, fear removes the color out of our life. And see, people could be in fear even right here in America. They're afraid of what everybody's going to say. They're afraid of being rejected by an agent. They're afraid of how they're going to be perceived. They're afraid of relationships. There's so much fear. We're bombarded with news that are fearful, and fear depletes the color out of our life. And so it begins to look like gray shades. And in Bulgaria growing up, everything was gray shades. The clothing was pale. There were no smiles on people's faces. And my mom always created colorful things. And I love color. I bring color into wherever I am.
Yes, I could see that.
Because color for me shows that you're alive. That you have vibrance inside of you that you can offer to somebody else. And I would say, if you are afraid or if you're dealing with any type of fear right now, just examine which areas of your life are under that bondage. And say, okay, how do I want to bring color into those areas of my life? And color is brought through words, it's brought through thoughts, it's brought through encouragement, it's brought through observing other people's lives that have overcome crucial circumstances and are on the other side. And then you begin to fill your mind with color, all of those gray thoughts disappear, and then you begin to implement it on the outside of you.
I love that.
So the inside really comes first, and then it's expression then on the outside.
Absolutely. I love that. So I know that you've written, 4 books?
Yes.
And you're working on a 5th?
Yes, the 5th one.
Can you share anything about the book that you're working on? I see here that you wrote a book called If You Have God, You Have Everything.
Yes.
And then you wrote a few inspirational devotionals. Okay.
Yes.
Are you able to share all about the one that you're working on?
And yes, it's going to come out later in the year, probably in the fall, and it's all about recognizing your invisible mentors.
Okay.
So I identify 10 different chapters with mentors that have helped me be the person I am today by recognizing them. So it wasn't people. When people say, oh, who is your greatest mentor? Yes, I have wonderful people in my life, but I would say it was my extremely hard circumstances that mentored me, because that was my survival time. And I had to move from survival to a mentality of an overcomer while I was still surviving, because that's how you begin to paint your picture. While you're in survival mode, you want to begin to bring color in your life, because I didn't want to live under the victimization of I'm poor and I would never achieve this and I will only be a speaker to a few people. No. That I was going to break out of that. So
and you have.
And so the book really is the integration between your mind, your soul, and your body. How do you function as one? By loving all of you, all of the different parts of you. How do you understand the psychological aspect of how your brain and your mind work in crucial circumstances? And so I bring in the psychology with practical experience and theology all in one book.
That's
So it's going to be good. I'm really excited about it.
I can't wait to get my hands on it.
So it's called Motivated by the Impossible.
Okay.
I always thought I was going to be the one changing the world, and that's why I was going to call it Motivated by the Impossible. And I realized in the last few years that I'm the one that is motivated by the impossible internally to change myself.
Oh, that's
not
good.
The external world that's changing me.
That's so important. And a lot of people do feel like it's something from the outside that they need. But you're so right. It all just stems from who you are, and it takes place from inside you.
Yeah.
That's so good. So I do have a personal question, because you're a beautiful woman and you're very accomplished. Do you have a significant other? Or no? Okay.
I don't. I've always been single.
Okay.
Surprisingly.
Well, I am comforted in that.
Yes. See, in the journey, I have never been bored.
Yes.
I'm not a boring person.
No.
I live a very adventurous life. For me, at the moment, I am single. This is
love
where I'm
it.
at, and I enjoy life the way it is.
Oh, that's so good. You know, just being a single woman, I will be 47 next month. And
you look fabulous.
Thank you.
I just turned 40.
What? Oh,
yes.
You look amazing. You know, and I've heard throughout the years people say, oh, you know, we want you to have a husband so you could be a whole person. And I'm thinking, well, you have a husband and you're not a whole person.
Exactly.
You know, but it's so true that, because I feel like, you know, maybe things or opportunities have come up, but I've chosen and made the decision, no, I need to just keep doing what I'm doing, keep my hand in the plow. And at that time when it happens, I feel like I'll know.
Yeah.
But until then, I don't want to settle. And I feel like there are a lot of people, women and men, that settle because they just don't want to be alone, or maybe they don't have vision for those things that are in their heart. Do you have anything to...
Absolutely. Because I think if you're in a place of being tired, of being single, then you're going to attract another person who is tired.
Oh.
And then you're going to wake up 10 years down the road, you both have probably recovered from your tiredness, realizing that you met the wrong person in the wrong valley of life.
Yeah.
So you don't want to attract and meet the person and marry them while you're in your valley. You want to marry them when you are whole and when you know who you are, because you cannot be an emotional leech to somebody else.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, I remember people that have come into my life at different times, and their strength was not evident, but mine was. So they were kind of like an emotional leach.
Oh,
because I felt like I was the one contributing to all of their achievement, success, whatever it was.
Right.
Or that they had to bring me down so that they can elevate themselves.
Yes.
And see, that's also the wrong thing, because you don't ever want to compromise with mediocrity, where you have to lower yourself to please somebody else who doesn't want to rise up.
That's good.
And if people leave your life, not just in a relationship where it's not working out as far as marriage, but in general, where people want to bring you down, don't compromise with those standards.
Yes.
I have certain standards that I'm never going to compromise on.
That's good.
And I have determined that it doesn't matter who says what. It's a part of my principles.
Yes.
And if I compromise with my foundation, I will lose myself in that.
It's so true.
And so I don't know what will happen down the road, but I do know this: people fall into wrong relationships out of a need to be needed, or because they're needy. And both of those are wrong.
Both of those are.
So I would say, get to know yourself, be happy, and get married only because you are wanting to contribute something additional, not because you're in need of something.
Yes, that's so good. So I know you have several different causes that your organization, platforms. And so if any one of our viewers or readers wanted to, partner with what you're doing in other countries and with your organization, how would you want them to partner with you in what you're doing?
We have various options. One is definitely a monthly sponsorship of a child. It could be from any of the programs. It's $30 a month, and we work with various kids. I mean, from the very poor, poverty-stricken areas in Bulgaria, Ghana, and Uganda. And so through the $30, it provides for their tuition, to go to school if they're in Africa or in Bulgaria, to feed them, to work with them, to get them out of that poverty mindset, give them dignity. Also, we have various ways where people can contribute, either through media or volunteering. I have an office in Seattle as well, besides here in California. So I am all over the country, so people can contribute even with writing articles. If they know of other organizations or people who would like to have me speak, that's another way, open doors. But they can check out, we have business opportunities that we're doing in foreign governments and Bulgaria specifically, that I always look for people to go and implement business principles specifically and help the economy and understanding. So we have so much going on, really. Anybody could be involved. Changingageneration.net is our website.
Changingageneration.net.
Yes.
Perfect.
And then my personal website is Ceitci.org, and it's spelled CEITCI.org.
Okay. We have so enjoyed having you with us. And
thank you.
I feel like I'm a better person from just these last few minutes with you.
Thank
you. I'm sure that our viewers feel the exact same way. Watch this over and over again, because she gave a lot of golden nuggets that really could help impact and change your life for a lifetime. But thank you so much for being with us today, and we'll see you next time.